give us a little brief background. I always like to start with growing up. I'm
Yeah.
a big believer that our past has a big impact on our real estate business. You
Yeah.
know, from you'll see people on the show, they talk about, they are an entrepreneur, or they grew up in a situation that forced them to work and have that work ethic, and how that's played into their real estate career and all of those other things. So what was growing up like?
Yeah, the latter is very much in alignment with my story. But John, thank you. Thank you for having me on here today. Looking forward to spending some time with you. And it's been exciting running with you since December. And I hope that we do get to share a little bit more of that. But I'm from Hershey, Pennsylvania. I say Hershey, but it's actually 20, 25 minutes outside of Hershey and very rural Pennsylvania. Neighboring farm was Amish, the other one was Mennonite. And just really myopic, very simple. And I have come to terms with and no longer embarrassed that I was an hour and 15 minutes away from Philadelphia, but I was 19 years old until I got to the big city of Philadelphia. So, super farming oriented community, which, comes with that the value of hard work, really great people, um, good food, good food. But yeah, very simple upbringing, and my parents certainly taught me the value of hard work, big hearts. Fortunately, my father, being the youngest of 18 children, my mother, the oldest girl of seven,
Wow.
huge, huge family. I
Wow.
had an aunt that married outside of the area, so in walks my sharp dressed, cool Uncle Bill, and I was able to look at them and the life that they were building. And she was driving a yellow Corvette and pink golf balls on the golf course. And I wanted to be like her. So she was very much my inspiration growing up. And I knew that there was something larger than the myopic life that I lived on the farm, very provincial. So it just sometimes I move to tears to think about the journey that I've had over the years and the people that I'm able to connect with and what we're able to build on a national platform.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in a
Yeah.
nutshell.
So growing up, did you did you have that entrepreneurial spirit? Were you a salesperson? Did you do sports, team player? What were some of the activities that you got into?
John, I didn't know the meaning of entrepreneur growing up.
Yeah.
However, I was gifted with some athleticism, and I did grow my confidence on the softball field and field hockey and cheerleader in the wintertime. I probably should have played basketball, but yes, that's where I definitely attribute my confidence to.
Awesome. Awesome. And then, going through school. Now, did you guys have a farm yourself, or?
Yeah, yeah.
All
We lived
right.
on a dairy farm, and it was huge. I don't even know. Ironically, I know that there are 43,560 feet in 1 acre, but I don't remember exactly how many acres that we lived on. But it was vast.
Yeah.
It was vast.
I'm sure you learned a lot of skills, life skills, work skills, you know, in that environment.
Yeah, the hard work. Yes, we were. I mean, we baled hay. We did, salt
Yeah.
of the earth. Very much hard work. However, I always had, I was a little bit precocious. I had this curiosity. I was always a risk taker. In fact, I remember my father had this Yamaha motorcycle and I had a mini bike, and we would go out and drive around the farm, but he got rid of it on me behind my back because he was fearful for me. I would go so fast on that thing. There was no trouble to get into.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I learned to be a risk taker way back then, and also the value of hard work and very generous people. If you know anything about that central Pennsylvania, the work ethic and just the meaning of Mennonite is really plain people, just
Yeah.
salt of the earth,
Yeah.
basic.
I I've only been to Hershey, Pennsylvania once growing up, and obviously that was to the factory, right? But my parents my parents actually lived in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania for about,
Neat.
I think, 3 or 4 years. So that's I got to go over there and visit them every, I think, maybe once or twice. I was already in college, so I didn't visit much. But yeah, it's growing up. It's that when you're in that type of environment, I think the only thing you really know is the hard work part, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and like you said, there's nothing else to really do, so you just kind of figured it out on your own and
Get creative.
get creative. Dirt bikes, four wheelers. I grew up in the country as well, just south of Youngstown, so small town, and I totally get it. I get it.
Yeah. And John, I hated it for so much of my adult life. I'm like, how unfair, I didn't get the culture. I was
Yeah,
responsible for culturifying myself. But you know what? At some point you embrace it all. My parents are amazing people. They're still together. Still committed. They're still with us. And it really is such a blessing.
yeah, yeah, and it's crazy going to the big city at 19, right?
And that, my friend, is why I have this extraordinary zest for life. It's a big world, so I've made up for that in travel. My passport is very well decorated.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That was kind of like me walking onto Ohio State's campus for the first time. It's like this whole different city, right? So high school years, did you go to college, not go to college?
Nope, college. I did not go to college right out of high school. That just wasn't part of the conversations. You grow up to a farmer's daughter to be a farmer's wife, and that was that. So I had secured a job at an insurance company for 5 years. I dedicated 5 years to them, and it was a great job. The pay rate was based out of New York City, which was unusual for our area. So I was able to accomplish some success fast, relatively speaking. And then I was in a really bad car accident February of 1994, and I saw the light. I put my head back and I saw the light. I thought it was over. My parents were at home, heard about the accident on the scanner, had no idea that it was me. But when I put my head back and I submitted, there was a rap on my window, and there was a gentleman that took my bumper and smashed my window. I still I've got scars on the back of my head, and he pulled me out of a burning car.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty incredible. So it was at that moment that I had decided I don't want to be here. I want to move to someplace warm. So the gentleman at that time that I was dating was from Montreal, and he and I just moved to Tampa in 1995, and I've been here since.
That is so crazy.
So crazy.
That's so crazy. I mean, luckily, that someone was there nearby, right? And
My angel, Jesse.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that is that's a wild story. And I always say every winter, why are we still living here in Columbus? We could be anywhere,
John, it's a great marketing technique for us down here in Florida. There's no sense of living somewhere where the air hurts your face. It's
Yeah, I
unnecessary.
mean, I can do real estate wherever. My wife can do what she does, wherever. We both just have to retake tests, and that's that. And
Yeah,
every winter, I ask so I'm happy that you did that, right? Because most people don't, and I think about, when I graduated college, and I got into the business 3 weeks after graduation. I went back to real estate classes and all that, and um, I just told myself I'm going to make it here in Columbus. I
yeah,
can't go back to that small town.
you
It's
did.
it's depressing. It's a different way of life, different mindset around everything.
Yeah.
And I always joked. I said my dad would probably charge me rent if I went back home anyway, so I might as well make it work here and pay rent here,
Right,
right?
right.
So
But circling back to that, John, it wasn't until I got here that I realized that education really, really is important. So I ended up going back to school, first to a community college, established 2 years, established the great grades that I could get a scholarship to move into University of Tampa, which at that point there was no way that I could have afforded it without a scholarship. But I earned it on merit, and I'm the first generation college grad in my family,
nice.
which is pretty darn cool. So I had a big year when I turned 30, graduating from college. Yeah.